What's up, guys? Thanks for watching Matt Fixes All. On this episode, we're going to talk water pumps, short water pumps versus long water pumps. What should you use? So before we get into it, please subscribe and thanks for watching. And please support any sort of charities that you know that deal with kids with neurologic deficits. Let's support the kids. All right, let's get into it. Short water pump or long water pump? Which should I use? This might be a question that you're asking yourself, because I know it's a question that I had. Initially, when I started this build, I was intending on using this beautiful polished aluminum short water pump. So I had it here, we had it mocked up, and after it was mocked up, one of the things that became very apparent was that I don't have any bracket holes. Well, that seems pretty important if we're going to have alternators, power steering, air conditioning, all of that good stuff. So come on over here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So your power steering pump, right? There needs to be a bolt hole right here to mount this so that you can put tension on your pulley. Clearly I cannot do that, so I will need if I'm going to go short water pump, I need a custom set of brackets for that. Not only that, we need somewhere to mount the alternator. So there's a couple different kits you can get. You can get kits for this that will mount your alternator up high, mount your air conditioning up high, that will specialty mount your power steering. So I went ahead and I was like, okay, well, what can I do? Because I'm not trying to spend all this extra money on a little bit of a budget, on a little bit of a deadline. So let's go ahead and grab this side mount. So I go to try to get it to mount up, and my suspension is in the way. So these are certainly considerations that, you know, if you have a different setup and your engine is a little bit higher and not sitting down into the frame, you know, like a sports car configuration would be. And this car has a 69 Camaro front end underneath it. So the engine sits where it would sit in a 69 Camaro. So it just sits too low, and there's no way to get it mounted because the alternator would be way out here interfering with the suspension. So ultimately, I decided to go a different direction for, honestly, pure ease, and financially it'll work out a little bit better too. So we'll undo this. So this one clearly had a long water pump on it before. I got the engine, no water pump with it. So I was just going to try to set things up the way that I wanted them. But this will end up working 100 times better. And I know this is the wrong length bolt, but just to mock up and show you guys, because most people have a budget. And then this is going to end up lining up with this bolt hole right here, and we'll be able to put proper tension. Everything's going to line up pulley wise, which is nice. And then I'll be able to use a factory style alternator, place my alternator right here, and all of a sudden everything's going to work. It's going to save me a lot of time, it's going to save me a lot of money, so that's cool. So these are just some considerations. Just plan on redoing everything on the front of your engine if you're going to go with the short water pump in order to make it work. Initially it was going to be great because I wanted more clearance, but you know, I think the couple inches should be fine after measuring things out. So, but if you have a real tight fit, you might not have a choice, and you might need to go with all of these super high mount brackets and all that stuff, and they can look really good. Just probably not the right time for me to do that to this thing. So short water pump, long water pump, up to you, but I'm going with the long water pump so that I can just go with factory brackets. There's a lot more cheaper options out there, whether you're buying things off of eBay or you know, from your performance store. Oliver, you getting in the video? Come here. Or your performance store parts. Cut.